everyone, and thank you so much for being here, and welcome to our middle school band concert. All of our students have been working incredibly hard, and we are so very excited to share with you our music making this evening. Tonight we're going to hear from three groups: our 6th grade band, our 7th grade band, and our 8th grade band. Here is our 6th grade band. This evening, we are going to share with you in the 6th grade band all the wonderful things that we have learned to do so far before we play a few big tunes for you before we leave. So I like to call this our tour to 6th grade band. We're going to play 2 songs at a time for you, so I'll tell you a little bit about both of them as we go. The first song that we're going to play with you is the very first song that we learned to play together as a group. It's called Away We Go, and it demonstrates our ability to start and stop sound at the same time. It uses whole notes, which are for 4 counts that we're going to hold and demonstrate our stopping and starting. We also worked on playing with great sound and great blend. We call it the band smoothie. You don't want a smoothie that's chunky. We want to hear everyone's sound blended together. After we play Away We Go, we will play Cuckoo, which uses our half notes and half rests, which are twice as fast as full notes. They're for 2 counts instead of 4, and we'll demonstrate that skill for you as well, too. If you could do me a huge favor, we have practiced playing 2 in a row and then ready to receive applause. If you make a mistake, that's totally fine. But here is Away We Go and Cuckoo. We always talk about playing with our best sound every time. After we got those skills kind of down, we start to play some more recognizable songs and simple folk tunes that help us learn. These are songs that they may already be familiar with before we get there, and if they know how it goes in their ear, they have an easier time creating it on their instrument. So the next 2 songs that we're going to play for you are Rain, Rain, Go Away, where we use more of our half notes, and we started using quarter notes, which is notes for 1 beat of sound instead of 2 or 4. And after that, our classic beginning band song, Hot Cross Buns. This was actually one of our playing assignments, but I'll tell you that this next song is my absolute favorite beginning band song. And it's not because of the notes or the rhythms or the melody, it's because of the lyrics that go along for it that I've shared with them, and they know it by heart at this point. It's entitled Go Tell Aunt Rhody, and at least the folk song that I learned, the lyrics go, go tell Aunt Rhody, go tell her right away. Go tell Aunt Rhody, the gray old goose is dead. And that's the song. Anyway, so that is a song that encompasses the 5 notes that we have learned to play up at this point. It uses all of them. It uses all of our rhythms, and it's really a good check to see how we're doing overall. After that, we're going to demonstrate for you a musical round, which is where we play the same music at different times. This is our first dive into what we call harmony, where we have multiple notes or multiple parts happening at the same time. To demonstrate that, we will play a round to the tune Itsy Bitsy Spider. So here is Go Tell Aunt Rhody and Itsy Bitsy Spider. Next, another concept that we learned as we kind of move forward here was the concept of a soli, which is like a solo but for a small group, and tutti, which is where we all play together. Those are the musical terms that we use, that are used in music so that we know those things. Not only do we need to make sure that we are learning what to play, but also what some of this terminology is given to us that we need to understand. After that, we're going to demonstrate a song called the Frog Song. The Frog Song uses a new note to us at this point that is higher and requires more technical skill to play. You'll hear that as our top note from now. So we are going to demonstrate for you first solo and tutti playing with Good King Wenceslas. And then after that, we are going to play the Frog Song. do before we started to play some more complicated things was the idea of a musical roadmap. We have several different symbols that are printed in our music that help us follow along and know where to be. Repeat signs is one, where we do the same material again. It's a technique composers use to save space on their paper. Save paper and save ink. A lot of the music that we musical tradition happened before the printing press, so they had to handwrite stuff. So a lot of things we carry forward are things that help save space. The first and second ending are two ways that we can save space on our compositions. You will hear some repeated material at the beginning, and then we'll play one ending. It will repeat back, and you'll hear a second ending afterwards. To demonstrate this, we are playing the song Mahaman Harvest. We have two more songs that we're going to share with you this evening. They are songs that have been put together that have multiple parts happening at the same time, and also bring a little bit of holiday cheer. These songs require the students to be independent on their own lines. There are 4 different musical lines that are happening simultaneously. That creates harmony and interest in our parts so that they have to be able to count. They have to be able to follow along with their part and also know how their part fits with the whole group. We talked about levels of listening, and this requires a lot more concentration and demonstration of skills. The first song that we're going to do also incorporates what you saw at the end of that one called a fermata, which is where we hold a note until the conductor asks us to stop, and we do that by cutting along. This will be the first of those 2 songs, and this one is Jolly Old Satan. Before we play our last song for you, I want to make sure that I give a thank you to our 6th grade musicians and our 6th grade parents. It is such a wonderful thing to be able to work with you, and you are full of energy, and I am so excited to channel that energy into amazing musicians. And I want to thank all of our parents who have been helping our 6th graders remember to practice and help them secure their instruments and help them just be great students and great people to work with. We have done a lot of growing, as I hope we've been able to demonstrate for you this evening, and you will not believe what another set of practices for our next concert will be like. It is transformative. And hopefully you'll be able to hear some of that as we hear 7th and 8th grade play this evening too. The last song that we're going to play for you as our 6th grade band incorporates 4 musical lines again, as well as first and second endings, half notes, whole notes, and quarter notes. All of our concepts that we've talked about this evening are present here in our last song for you, Jingle Bells.
So we will be performing 4 pieces for you tonight. We have Valiance, Critical Call, Castles and Kings, and then a short Christmas song that we will do last. But first, we have Valiance. Valiance is a really exciting concert opener. It starts with a brass fanfare sort of thing with our trumpet section, and then it kind of has little solo sections throughout where you'll hear short one-measure of instruments playing. And then towards the end, there's what we call a fugue, which is where we have the same melody overlapping, so that creates a lot of cool harmony. So, I hope you enjoy our first piece, Valiance. it features, it's kind of based on a 911 phone call. So right from the start, you'll hear our bells player, Mason, who's going to play 911, 911, 911. So it's kind of a sense of urgency throughout this entire piece. And at the very end is kind of the person finally picking up the phone after this whole piece of the emergency happening and calling, and then someone finally answers. So there's kind of an adrenaline rush there right at the end. It's kind of an awkward ending, but it's just kind of an odd song to begin with. We got this song last year, actually, as 6th graders, and I pulled it out again. We never performed it, but I pulled it out again, and I think that the students really enjoy it. So I hope you enjoyed Critical Call. While the percussion transitions, I'm going to introduce our next two songs. We have what's called Of Castles and Kings. Similar to Valiance, this one has a very majestic opener. It's about medieval times, and there's a lot of like trills in the flute section and just kind of fun things in general. And at the end, we do something called a forte piano, which is where we start really loud, then we get quiet, then we crescendo all the way to the end. And we've worked on that quite a bit during class. And then after that, we will have O Tannenbaum. And you can clap in between the two. I'll come and honor them. But I just wanted to introduce both of them now. That will help get us in the Christmas spirit and close out our portion. Okay, so, question, are we good? Thank you. That concludes our portion of the 7th grade concert. Before we transition to 8th grade, I'd like to make a few thank yous. First of all, thank you to the students. You guys are a rowdy bunch for sure, but it is nice when we have on days because these guys are incredible musicians. I think they're more talented than they realize. So it's an honor to get to work with them and to make music with them every day. And thank you to the parents for continuing to encourage practicing and just allowing them to be a part of the band. We like to think of the band as a family, so it's nice to have 38 more family members. I'd also like to thank the administrators, Mr. D or myself, whenever we ask to do anything, the answer is almost always yes. So that's always really great to have that support. And custodians, board members, etc. It's all on program. So yes, give us like 2 minutes, and then we'll have 8th graders ready for you. All right? Thank you.
The next song that we're going to play for you this evening is called The Lighthouse Keeps Watch. This is a really challenging piece that asks us to play in 2 separate styles. We have a very legato, warm, connected sound that we will play at the very beginning and at the end. We also have a very active rhythmic space with lots of strong articulations that kind of brings this piece to really well-rounded. You will also hear from 2 of our clarinet players who will be playing some solos as we play here. We will hear that from them as well. It's very difficult to play a solo all by yourself, and our students have been very brave and tackled the challenge head-on. So this is The Lighthouse Keeps Watch. Hey, before we play our next piece for you, I want to give a quick thank you. If you look on the stage, you will see that there are a few people who look a little older than middle school. We have a few of our high school band students who are just so passionate about band. They're like, Mr. Z, I heard the concerts tonight, what can I do to help? And they volunteered their time to help out. So we have a few of our trumpet players, a French horn player, tenor saxophone player, and percussionists, as well as my stage crew. They're all helping out to make sure that we have some parts that we just don't have middle schoolers to play covered. So we give them a round of applause. Thank you guys. The next piece that we're going to play for you is really great standard band repertoire. It's called Acclaim. It demonstrates lots of different skills that we worked on, whether it's independence of parts, accents, and a wide variety of sounds and dynamics. So, I hope you enjoy the next piece entitled Acclaim. Before we play our last piece, I just want to make sure I give big thank yous out to, first of all, our administration. Thank you for being here, Mr. Tom. I know I saw you. Anybody else who's here, thank you so much. We really appreciate your support. It is very important that we have music continue to be a big part of our schools. And one of the greatest things about Perkins here is that anytime you have any idea, a crazy new idea to make some great music, that the response is always, how can we make this happen for you? So that's really great. The next thing, I want to make sure I thank all of our parents for helping your students be great musicians. And I also want to thank our booster organization. Our boosters help us run the band program. They support us financially. They help us with, a lot of times through high school and marching band, 8th grade next year, you'll see they're always here. They're always helping us out, and we really appreciate their help. And then my last thank you goes to my students. You're wonderful people. We have such fun in 8th grade band, I'll tell you this. This morning, it was pajama day. We had flying slippers. I don't know what happened there, whatever. But it was a good time. We had a lot of fun. So it's really great. Thank you so much, students, for being so wonderful. I love teaching you. I love having an 8th grade band. Even though it's early, it's really great. So, the last song that we're going to play for you is entitled Chant in Tribal Dance. And hopefully you will witness our powerful ending. Here we go. Chant in Tribal Dance. Thank you so much for coming out to our concert this evening.